meter by 6 meter is the panel. And you can see what they have told us. The corners are held down. Corners are held down means what? If you see this is a slab. Suppose now this is a slab. The corners are held down means in the corner some steel is provided. In the corners steel is provided. Now if you see this is one corner, up to the certain level the steel is provided. This is second corner, third corner and fourth corner. So here in these corners the steels are provided like this. Steel bars are provided. Okay. This is the provision of the steel. This is also called as torsional reinforcement. And when the condition is given that corners are held down, okay, so all the corners are held down by providing the reinforcement at the corners. This is the important point you can see over here. So when the corners are held down, then at the corners the reinforcement is provided. So how much reinforcement is provided, that is most important. So the length of this reinforcement is Lx by 5. Okay, on both the sides, Lx by 5. This is the length where Lx is the shorter span of the slab. And the area of steel provided over here is 3/4 of ASTX. Okay, so area of steel which is provided over here in the torsional as a torsional reinforcement is 3/4. Okay, this is as per the IS code. We are providing everything as per IS code. Okay, so while solving the problem, I will tell you in the detail. Okay, so this is called as the torsional reinforcement. This is also called as torsional reinforcement. Okay, and when to provide this? When it is mentioned that corners are held down. Okay, when this condition is given, corners are held down, then you need to provide the torsional reinforcement. When this condition is given, corners are held down, then you need to provide this torsional reinforcement. Okay, and it is provided at the corner for a length of Lx by 5. So now see, and the condition is here the next sentence they have given us the most important sentence. All the four edges of the slab are discontinuous. So this is the condition. So if you see, these are the edges of the slab. 1, 2, 3 and 4. All these edges are discontinuous. Sorry. Along any edge there is no continuity. म्हणजे कुठल्या तरी एका साईडला परत स्लॅब आलेला आहे दुसरा अशी गोष्ट नाहीये. So all the edges are discontinuous edges. Okay. So now how we are going to use this? Let us see in the numerical. So first of all, second most important thing, note down this. This is the important note. Okay. In in two-way slab, okay, always consider shorter span shorter span for depth and bending moment calculations. Okay, in two-way slab, always consider shorter span for depth and bending moment calculations. Now we will calculate the ratio of longer length to shorter length, and we will verify that really the slab is two-way slab or it is to be designed as one-way slab. So our step number 1 is common for one-way slab as well as two-way slab. Okay, so the ratio of longer length to shorter length. So I will let let us call this as alpha. Okay, ratio. Or तुम्ही काही notation दिलं नाही तरी चालतंय. Directly we can take the ratio. So longer length divided by shorter length is equal to, what is our panel size? It is 4 meter by 6 meter. So longer length is 6, shorter length is 4. So 6 by 4. 6 by 4 means it is equal to near about 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 1.5. So it is 1.5. So 1.5 it is less than 2. 1.5 is the less than 2. Hence, hence slab is to be designed as, slab is to be designed as two-way slab. So we need to design this slab as a two-way slab. So next thing is the depth calculation. Okay. Next is the depth calculation. So this is also important point. Now for the depth calculation, we will see what is given in the IS code, and then accordingly we will calculate the depth. For that we will move to the IS code. So now here you can see solid slab 24.1. Okay, here for the slab spanning in two directions, the shorter of the two spans should be used for calculating the span to effective depth ratios. Okay, हे मी तुम्हाला ऑलरेडी सांगितलेलं आहे. To calculate the depth, short, shorter the shorter of the two spans should be used for calculating the effective depth ratio. Okay, so you need to use the shorter span. This is the first thing. Secondly, for two-way slab of shorter spans up to 3.5 meter. This is the most important thing. So for the two-way slab up to 3.5 meter, with mild steel reinforcement, with mild steel reinforcement, the span to effective depth ratio is given as follows. Okay, so this is for simply supported slab, and this is for continuous slab. Continuous two-way slab is not there for a slab. For simply supported slab it is 35, but when it is 35, this is most important. When it is 35 span to effective depth ratio, when your shorter span is up to 3.5 meter, okay, and mild steel reinforcement is provided. This is the first condition. Okay, now see, if your span is less than 3.5 meter and torch steel is provided, that is Fe415 or above, then here the note is also given for that. Okay, here if you see, the note is also given for that. What to do? You need to multiply this 0.35 by 0.8 if Fe415 is given. But in which case, when your slab is up to 3.5 meter. Okay, but once your slab is more than 3.5 meters, you cannot use this clause. Okay, you have to use the similar procedure uh, which is we are using for one way slab. Okay, are you getting my point? This is most important thing. So if you, first thing is you have to look up the span, see that your span is greater than 3.5 up to 3.5 or less than 3.5. Okay, now suppose that in this problem, instead of 4 by 6, now our shorter span is 4 meter, our span is greater than this 3.5 meter, so this clause is not applicable to our problem. Okay, so instead of this, now suppose our slab is, instead of 4 meter, suppose it is 3.3 meter, 3.4 meter or 3.5 meter. Okay, then we will move further, and for mild steel reinforcement ratio is 35. So span divided by D is 35. Okay, for this 3.5 mild steel. So for that 35, again we need to multiply it by 0.8 for Fe415 if our span is up to 3.5 meter. Now I hope now it is clear. Now we are not going to use this clause. Okay, we are not going to use this. Why? Because our span is more than 3.5 meter. So in this case, now we will calculate the depth as per the one way slab clause. So now depth calculation. Okay. So from clause number 24.1, page 39. Okay. In case the span is greater than 3.5 meter, 3.5 meter, we have to calculate the depth. We have to calculate the depth, the depth as it is for one-way slab, as it is calculated, as it is calculated for one-way slab. Okay. So now our regular procedure. So one-way slab. So you can use here formula is D is equal to, it is simply supported. Okay, so span divided by 20 into modification factor. This is shorter span. Always remember we need to consider the shorter span. Okay, so assume the percentage of steel. Okay, assume percentage of steel. This notation is PT assume. Okay, PT assume. What we assume normally? We assume 0.3%. Okay, 0.2 to 0.4 is the range. You can take the average of that, and 0.3% we will assume as always. Okay, so now we will calculate the Fs. You know that from where we are calculating this, from page number 38, figure number 4, we have already seen this. If you are having IS code, go to page number 38, figure number 4, and check these calculations. We have already done this before. So now Fs is equal to what? It is 0.58 into Fy into AST required divided by AST provided. Okay, so this works out to be, how much it is? 0.58 into 415. So this is 240.7. This is 240.7, which is nearly equal to 240. Okay, Newton per mm square. 240. So we need to see the line of 240. Okay, for the percentage of steel of zero point 0.3, what is our modification factor? This is also we have calculated before. It is round about 1.4 to 1.45. So we will take here 1.4 our modification factor. So now therefore effective depth D is equal to, it is 4000. So it is 4000 divided by 20 into 1.4. So which is equal to, if you calculate this, 4000 divided by 20 into 1.4, it works out to be 142.85. 142.85. Okay, so here this is the two-way slab. So minimum diameter is 8 mm. We provided over here. For slab normally 8 mm and 10 mm diameters are sufficient for the reinforcement. Okay, so now we will go for 8 mm or 10 mm bar diameter. So here assume 10 mm bar diameter and clear cover of 15 mm. So this is the clear cover. So now our capital D is equal to overall depth is equal to, it is effective depth 142.85 plus clear cover, that is 15, plus 10 by 2, half of bar diameter. So it is how 10 by 2 is 5, 15 plus 5 is 20. So it is 162. So it is 162.85 m. Okay. So we round up this depth. We round up this depth to 165 m. So our depth is 165 mm. So now, as we have increased our overall depth, we need to calculate our effective depth again, because it will also get increased. Okay. So now therefore effective depth is equal to, our overall depth is 165. Now reverse procedure, minus your clear cover minus half of bar diameter. So it works out to be 145 mm. It is 145 mm. Okay. So this is your effective depth. Again see, this is your effective depth along shorter direction. Okay. This is your effective depth along shorter direction. Now if I draw the diagram, see, I will show you the elevation. Now the bars are provided here. Your reinforcement is provided, suppose somewhere here. Okay. And see, this is your bar in X direction. So this is your bar along shorter span. Okay, along means parallel to shorter span. This is your 4 meter length, this is 6 meter length, and this is your reinforcement for longer span. Longer span. Now, when I talk about the shorter span, what is my effective depth? So, when I talk about the shorter span, my effective depth will be, see, up to the center of this bar. This is my effective depth when I talk about the X direction or shorter span. Okay, so I will tell this as dx. So this is now we have calculated. Okay, how we have calculated from this point up to this bottom, this total is 165, correct. From that we have minus this clear cover. So clear cover is at the bottom of this bar, so it is 15 mm. So 165 minus 15 we have done, it is 150. Then this bar diameter which is shown in green, you have assumed that bar diameter is of 10 mm. So this is 10 mm diameter bar which is shown in green. So center of that bar, so again 10 by 5. So it is 145 is the depth in X direction, and on this X direction bars your steel in longer direction will be placed. त्याच्यावरती हे बार येणार आहेत. खाली बॉटमला आधी शॉर्टर डायरेक्शनचे बार असणार, त्याच्यावर लॉंगर डायरेक्शनचे बार असणार. आणि जर तुम्हाला लॉंगर डायरेक्शनची इफेक्टिव्ह डेप्थ काढायची असेल, इफ यू वॉन्ट टू फाइंड आउट द इफेक्टिव्ह डेप्थ ऑफ लॉंगर डायरेक्शन, then you need to go up to the center of this bar. Okay, the center of this bar. So this will be your depth, effective depth in longer direction. I will call this as a dy. Shorter or longer, you remember this, instead of dx dy, shorter or longer. Okay, so this is the depth along longer direction. And now if I want to calculate the depth along longer direction, then how should I calculate? So here I will write d is equal to 145 mm. 145 mm. This is along shorter direction. This is the effective depth along shorter direction. Okay. Now effective depth along longer direction, if I want to calculate, then again d is equal to how much it is. See, this total depth we need to consider. So this total depth is 165. minus, you will minus this clear cover, this is your clear cover, so this is 15 mm, minus you will again minus this bar, okay, because this is the bar in shorter direction. So this bar is of 10 mm, this cover is of 15 mm. So this is 10 mm bar minus, now again this bar which we are going to assume this is also 10 mm diameter bar. So up to the center of this bar. So minus again 10 by. So if you do this, you will get the value, and that value is how much it is? It is 135 mm. 135 mm. So here we can say that D is equal to 135 mm along which direction? Along longer direction. Along longer direction. Okay. हे असं का होतंय? The first you lay down the bars in which are parallel to the shorter direction. आधी तुम्ही काय करता? Shorter direction चे सगळे बार टाकता. And after that longer direction bars are come into the picture. Okay, after that we lay down the longer directions bars over the shorter direction bars. Okay, so that is why there is a difference in the effective depth. So this effective depth, this is for shorter, you see this is for shorter direction and this is for longer direction. Okay, so now after the effective depth we will calculate the effective span. Okay, so effective span again we will calculate for both the directions, for shorter direction as well as for longer direction. Okay, so effective span. For shorter direction, okay, effective span, here I will write in bracket first shorter direction. Okay, so again we need to refer the clause. So it is from, I will write here the clause. We have already referred this, so you can look into the IS code. Clause number 22.2, page number 34. Okay, so according to this clause, the effective span in shorter direction. Okay, let us say that effective span in shorter direction is Lx. Okay, x direction is my shorter direction. So it is clear span plus effective depth. Okay, so there are two clauses are given. For the shorter direction effective span, first thing it is the clear span plus effective depth or center to center distance of the support. Okay, center to center distance of the support. So whichever is less, that we are going to take. So first Lx is equal to what? First is the center to center distance between the supports. So now in the problem they have told you the bearing of 150 mm. Okay, there is a word in the problem. If you see over here, there is a bearing. The meaning of bearing is the support. Okay, and the width of support it is given to you 150 mm. If this is not given in the problem, you can assume the width of the support. Okay, so now clear to clear distance between the supports. So Lx is equal to, what is our shorter span? It is 4 meter plus it is 0.15 by 2 center to center of support. So total width is 0.15. So you need to divide it by 2. So it is 4.15 meter. Okay, which is equal to 4150 mm. This is first. Then secondly, Lx shorter span, you can calculate it as clear span plus effective depth. Clear span plus effective depth. So Lx is equal to, your clear span is 4 meter plus, now we are talking about shorter direction. So what is the effective depth along shorter direction? So along shorter direction your effective depth is 145 mm. So 145 mm is 0. 0.145 meter. So which is equal to how much it is? It is nearly equal to 4.145 meter. Okay, 4.145 meter, which is equal to 4145 mm. So lesser of these two you can choose. After that, we will calculate the effective span in longer direction. Okay, now longer direction. See here, both the directions are the main directions in two-way slab. That is why we are calculating the effective span along both the directions. Okay, although the effective span along shorter direction is required only for the calculation, but still it is a procedure to calculate the effective span along longer direction also. So now for longer direction, first let the notation be Ly. Again it is same, center to center distance between the supports. So longer span is 6 meter plus center to center distance is 0.15 by 2 plus 0.15 by 2. So which works out to be 6.15 meter, which is 6150 mm. Okay, and second thing, Ly is equal to, it is clear span plus effective depth. Okay, so clear span is 6 plus effective depth. Now you should take the effective depth along y direction. So effective depth along y direction is 0.135. Okay, so it is 0.135, which is equal to 6.135 meter, which is equal to 6.6.1361, sorry, which is equal to 6135 mm. So now see the lesser up from these two, 6150 and 6135. So 6735 is lesser. So along y direction, our effective span is 6135. And if you talk about x direction, then it is 4150 and 4145. So lesser of these two. So the lesser of these two is 4145 mm. So 4.145 meter is the span in x direction and 6.135 meter is the effective span in y direction. So this is our x direction is our shorter direction, y direction is our longer direction. So here I will write effective span, effective spans. Okay. So shorter direction, for shorter direction, Lx is equal to, what is the value of Lx? It is 4.145 meter. It is 4.145 meter. And for longer direction, okay, your Ly, it is 6.135 meter. 6.135 meter. Now these are the effective spans which we got. Okay, now depth calculation, then effective span calculation. Now after that, load calculation. That is your third step. Load calculation. So load calculation. For the load calculation, assume assume 1 meter width of the slab. So we are assuming here the width of slab is 1 meter. Okay. So now the self weight of slab, which is equal to, it is d into 1 into 25, which is equal to overall depth, it is 165, 0.165 into width is 1 meter into 25. So how much it is? 0.165 into 25, So it is 4.125 kilonewton per meter. Okay, kilonewton per meter. Correct. Now floor finish, it is not given in the problem, so we will assume. Okay, so floor finish, it is assumed value, it is not specified in the problem. Let us say it is 1 kilonewton per meter square, so 1 kilonewton per meter square into width is 1 meter, so it will become 1 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so now live load is given in the problem. So live load is equal to, again it is 3 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so 3 kilonewton per meter square into width is 1 meter, so again it gets converted into kilonewton per meter. Okay, again it is kilonewton per meter. So now we will calculate the total load. Okay, so total load, it is a simple calculation. 4.125 plus 1, 5.125 plus 3, so it is 8.125. So the total load is equal to 8.125 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Now calculate the factored load or ultimate load. Ultimate load is equal to, multiply this by factor of safety, which is equal to 1.5 into 8.125, which is equal to how much it is? It's 12.18 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So now here load is 12.12. Okay, so now we need to calculate the bending moment. So to calculate the bending moment, we will go to the page number 91, table number 26. Okay, how to calculate the bending moment? There some formulas are given. So these are the important things. So formula is given. Okay, for the moment per unit width, this is for the two-way slab. This is the bending table number 26. Bending moment coefficients for rectangular panel supported on four sides with the provision for torsion at the corners. Okay, for the provision of torsion at the corners. So the torsion means what? I have already explained you at the start. When we say that our corners are held down, then that is we are providing some reinforcement at the corners of the slab, at the four corners of the slab. Okay, and that reinforcement is called as the torsional reinforcement. Okay, so here now the formula, it is given as, it is mx is equal to alpha x wlx square, and my is equal to alpha y, again wlx square is there. So many of the students make mistake over here in this formula. They took mx is correctly alpha x wlx square, and in hurry they write my is equal to alpha y wly square they take over here. And if you take here ly square, then your bending moment is wrong, and then your rest of the calculation is also wrong. Okay. So now see this formula carefully. It is, so now this is the formula. So here we will see table number 26. Now why we are seeing this table number 26? Because the heading of the table, if you see here, the torsion at the corners. The corners are held down. This is the meaning of this. If you want to, if I tell you, this is the corners are held down. This is the meaning. Okay, so simple. And now if you see, that is why this condition is given in the problem. That is why we are using this table. If in the numerical they says that corners are not held down, or if they says that only the simply supported slab is there, then you should use this following table, table number 27. बघा कधी कुठला टेबल यूज करायचा ते लक्षात ठेवा. Okay, this table you will use when they says that corners are not held down. Okay, or they will not specify anything in the problem, so you can assume that the corners are not held down. So you can use this table to calculate the values of alpha x and alpha y. Why we are using this table? To calculate the values of alpha x and alpha y. Okay, so corners are not held down, its meaning is that all the four sides are simply supported. Okay, only the simple support is given at all the four sides. But when you say that corners are torsional reinforcement is provided at the corners, its meaning is corners are held down. Okay, so now we will see this. Now if you see here, some conditions are given. Okay, so here some types of the panel, some conditions are given, 9 conditions are given. Okay, and here you see the column, this is the ratio of Ly by Lx. Okay, so this is the ratio of Ly by Lx. These are the ratios Ly by Lx. Okay, these are some 9 conditions are given. We need to see that which condition is there in our problem, and if any condition is not satisfied, then we will assume some condition. Okay, so here short span coefficient alpha x. So this is the value for alpha x, and here it is the value for alpha y. Okay, so alpha y not much more options are there, but for alpha x range, wide range of the values are there. Now we will see in our numerical they have told us that this condition is given. All four edges are discontinuous. Okay, so this condition is given in our problem. You can check the numerical. So all four edges are discontinuous, and then we need to take the ratio of Ly by Lx. So what is the ratio of our Ly by Lx? So if you take the ratio, see what is our ratio of this Ly by Lx? It is 6.135 divided by 4 point, what is the value? 4 point something is there, no? 4.145. Okay, just wait 1 minute. Calculate this ratio. Okay, so how much it is? 1.48. Okay, so this ratio works out to be 1.48. Now see 1.48, remember this value. So 1.48, we will move up over here and see where is 1.448 lies. So if you see, this value of 1.48 is lies in between here, in between 1.4 and 1.5. So in the column of 1.4 and 1.5, we need to see that we have to do the interpolation. Okay, so if you come down, see here, so this is the value for alpha x, this is the value for alpha x, 0.079, this is for 1.4, 0.085, this is the value for 1.5. Now we need to find out the value for 1.47. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the value of alpha x by using the interpolation, and for alpha y there is only one single value is given over here, so this is the value of alpha y. Okay, W is already known to you. You have calculated the ultimate load, and effective span is also known to you in the shorter direction, Alex. So you can calculate the bending moment now. Okay, so now I will write all these things in the whiteboard. So I hope now it is clear to you. So here, if the corners are held down, if corners are held down, held down, then as per IS 456 2000, okay, table number 26, page number 91. Okay, so Ly by Lx is equal to, I will directly write over here. Okay. So now my voice is audible. If the corners are held down, then as per IS 456 2000, okay, then as per IS 456 2000, table number 26 and page number 91, Ly by Lx ratio is 1.48. Okay, so now we need to calculate the value of alpha x. So I will write the value over here. What are the values? So here, this is the rough calculation. For 1.4, the value of alpha x is 0.085. Okay, 0.085 something. What was the value? You can check. And for 1.5, that value is 0.089. To do the interpolation, we want the value for 1.48. To do the interpolation, you will get the value of alpha x. These are the values of alpha x. Okay. So therefore, alpha x is equal to. Therefore, alpha y is equal to, its value is directly given, 0.056. Okay. So let me know the value of alpha x. So it is 0.086. Okay. So the value is 0.086. Here we will see in the IS code. So 1.4, it is 0.085 and 0.089. So you need to do the interpolation between these two values. Okay. So after the interpolation, what is the answer? This answer is 0.086. This is the answer. This is the value of alpha x and alpha y. Okay. So for today now, it is sufficient. In the next lecture, we will calculate the bending moment.